So I've been thinking to myself to revisit the Walking Dead series, and I was thinking to rewatch every single season and stuff. Well, technically not rewatch, but more like rating them, because apparently I truly still remember the Walking Dead, even though it's been a long time and stuff. But I'm just gonna revisit it, okay? Like the whole season and the whole characters and stuff, but not the plot technically, because the plot is too long and I don't want to make this video too long at the same time, because I really truly want to make this video a bit kind of short at the same time, so hopefully we don't really get a lot of too many videos and stuff. And the one thing that I really like about Walking Dead is that first time watching Walking Dead was something else. It was in the beginning season it was simple, but then all the future season stuff happened. It was everything went boring and stuff. Everything just went dead after I don't know, season 6 or 5 or something, because apparently the viewers actually kind of went down after season 5, I heard. And at the same time, the character Rick Grimes, he potentially died in the comics, but in the series he didn't die and stuff. He was still alive, but well, everyone didn't like that and stuff. The one thing I like to tell you guys about season 1 is very simple and stuff, because apparently in the beginning, it's just Rick Grimes, waking up in the hospital. Even before he woke up in the hospital, there's this background story and thing that he was actually a cop with his friend Shane, which is also another, favorite character that everyone really likes about him. He's he used to be good and stuff, but then all of a sudden he turns bad in the other seasons. And yeah, technically he's also kind of my favorite character. Not only Rick, but there's also Glenn and Shane. Those are also my favorite characters. But technically what I really like about this first season is that the beginning season is just all fully simple. Well, it's the beginning, and Rick just woke up from a coma and he finds out what's actually happening in the world. There's a zombie apocalypse and he's afraid and stuff. And watching that for the first time, technically, in that first episode, it was something else for me. It was something new, it was the first time. And it's the beginning for peakness and stuff for The Walking Dead. Especially how the whole first season is just so simple that I don't really can... It's not actually not just only any simple thing that I'll actually watch, but technically just very morally the most simple season, honestly. And I don't really want to review that much this season. The first season is actually really okay. So I would say that the first season is just a regular good season. It's simple, it's only something good, I like to say. And yeah, that's all I can say about the first season. So season 2, I guess so, because I do have to say a lot of things about season 2, because it's different and it's also long. So in season 2, everything just starts off really okay, in my opinion, because usually enough everything just starts with a new fresh season start. And in the new season, they technically went off to the woods in the middle of abandoned highway and stuff. Really cool. I like how it's in the middle of an abandoned area, which I do kind of like in every apocalyptic movie, where they always show abandoned areas as empty and quiet, and it always look scary and horror. Yeah, I do kind of like that though, usually because there's next to the woods. Now in the comics, they did kind of show the woods also in the comics in The Walking Dead, but there's also a difference kind of. But I don't really have much to know about the comics either, because I never read that much about the comic either, because I never read the Walking Dead comic because I was too young to read it also. Not only a big fan of Glenn, I actually like more other characters out there in The Walking Dead, which I do kind of bit like Michonne, which she will be shown in season 3. But one thing about Michonne, that the character is iconic with the katana, is that I think I do kind of like Daryl besides from Michonne. Sure, Michonne, Daryl, and Rick Grimes are the iconic trio in The Walking Dead. Well, especially after Rick loses his family and stuff, which is... I'm technically fine with that, honestly, because I feel the wife of Rick Grimes is just such a useless character to ever exist in The Walking Dead. And not to mention, I mean, she's okay, but yeah, and then she died in season 3 and stuff, doesn't really matter. I think the character that's underrated in The Walking Dead is T-Dog. Yes, T-Dog is that side character also, which is, he's kind of I don't know, he's helping the main character and the other character and stuff, but then he dies in season 3 also. I wouldn't say T-Dog is actually a good character. I think he's just okay, but he's not really that good character in my opinion. Most people actually make memes about him that his name is Teleportation Dog, because he did kind of teleport in season 2, which there's this one scene that he was there and then all of a sudden he teleported there. And yeah, Supremacy, I would say that The Walking Dead season 2 is honestly really okay. I would say it's not only okay, but like I would say it's like more of like a regular like season and stuff. Like people like it because people enjoy how season 2 has like character development with Shane and stuff. And yeah, that's all I can say about season 2. So moving on to season 3. So season 3 is by far my favorite season in The Walking Dead because apparently not only we go like to a new place or a new hideout and stuff, we basically meet new characters. That's why I like Michonne or the governor. Now the governor is actually interesting in the comics or in TV series and stuff. There's like a major difference because apparently in the comics I actually do heard people saying like he's actually way more disturbing in the comics comparing to the TV show. The TV show he's like, yeah, he's kind of violent, but like he's not really that violent. He's kind of like just, you know, a bad guy and stuff. In the comics, people say that he's way more worse in the comics because apparently he's not only a bad guy, but he's kind of like more of a scary villain. Not a scary villain, but just more like a creepy murder villain and stuff or something. I don't know. I kind of like see the information how like the governor looks very different from the comics and the TV show. The TV show is just like a regular bad guy dude. He just doesn't agree with things with the heroes and stuff, and the main character also. And this season also, I like to say, we also get to know with Michonne, which is interesting because apparently Michonne is kind of like a bit or at least my favorite character in The Walking Dead. Usually because of not only about the weapon and stuff, it's actually technically kind of more how the character is actually something new. Because apparently the character kind of looks a bit powerful in my opinion. Usually because she has like two like tangled zombies on a leash and stuff. And what's interesting about that, she basically cuts the zombies' arms so they can't get her, which is honestly a genius thing. But what's really cool about her is that she's kind of like, I don't know, a cool fighter with a katana and stuff. She's also in the comics, but like the comics like way more different from the TV show also. She has like a different personality in the comics, the TV show also. And then after that, in the future season, she falls in love with Rick Grimes and stuff, which is later in the season also, by the way. And technically in season 3, we also have this moment where the character like got split up and stuff, and then they stuff were like going inside of the prison, which is interesting because apparently the prison arc in that season is actually really cool because I like how not only they meet like characters inside the prison, but technically they're just like random characters in there. The new like area of like the prison is actually really cool. I do have to say to myself like there's not really that much like fighting guns and stuff when The Walking Dead. And you know, I thought to myself like the first season and the second season didn't have that much because like it was still simple and like, you know, simple like 2 seasons and stuff. But then the third season and the fourth season, that's where it gets like a bit, you know, kind of like gunfighting and shootout and stuff and like war at the same time also. That's why I do have to say that the character, the governor, is at least I still like the governor because usually he's like that one like rebellious character in the apocalyptic movies or TV show, kind of like the character where he always like leads up with like high tech or like armed like vehicles and stuff where they attack like the main characters and the heroes. Well, that's why I kind of like season 3 and season 4 though. Usually my 2 favorite seasons in The Walking Dead because apparently Rick Grimes is where he gets even more peak, you may ask. Usually because Rick Grimes gets even more better in seasons usually. Because in my opinion that not only Rick Grimes gets to be the best character ever to ever exist, because apparently the character gets to be even more better. Technically because it gets people attention to get to more like that character becoming a good character. Not only a good character, but the best character and an iconic character with his hat and with his gun at the same time. I think this is where everyone talks about like the meme where Rick Grimes like cry and stuff, which is, I know that's like another popular meme, but like technically I would say that scene is kind of like, you know, a bit cool. The way he's crying is just so real in my opinion. His acting is just so cool. I can't really have to say like how other actors have good acting, but usually I would say more how the character Rick Grimes is still really good being a zombie apocalyptic person. Comparing to like zombie apocalyptic main characters, they're just like oh, they're just regular and normal and stuff. But like Rick Grimes is just something else in my opinion. He's just different. He's not only just peak, but he's the best. He's amazing. He's a masterpiece in my opinion. Usually because I do have to say that his hat and his arm gun is just iconic. And technically because him in season 3 was being crazy, because apparently in the whole plot that's happening in season 3 with Rick Grimes, just him like calling with like a fake phone and stuff. Not a fake phone, technically he's like hallucinating or something, or he's just like depressed because he lost his wife. And there's like this moment where he has like this villainy mode. What's actually interesting about season 4 is that, and season 3 at the same time, is that they're still continuing with the prison arc, which is I do kind of like that season because usually those two seasons still continues the conflict against like the prison and the governor at the same time, because apparently there's like this moment which I kind of like forgot a bit why, like this moment of like where the governor was like angry with Rick Grimes because apparently Rick Grimes and his people attacked like the place, the governor's place and stuff, and people didn't trust the governor, people want to leave that area, and then the governor becomes angry. This moment where like the character that I forgot dies. There's also this moment where the prison gets attacked by the governor's people and stuff, which is my favorite part of the season, by the way, because apparently at the end of season 4, I'm pretty sure at the end of season 4, that's where I feel like that's where the part of where how people like the fighting scene in the prison with like a huge tank and like guns and like blazing stuff. I just like action in certain TV shows or movies, like that moment where there's like a gun scene or a fight scene at the same time, because usually they're kind of like they're kind of really cool, honestly. I kind of like that. The part where Rick Grimes screams with his arm, like gun and stuff, and shoots like the governor. That was really cool. I kind of like that. And then Herschel dies in that part. There's like this epic moment with Michonne like stabbing her katana to the governor and stuff, which is like we all know that the governor is a bad person. And then before even like that happened, there's like this moment where the governor was like with these people, and then they regrouped to just attack the prison arc and stuff. Yeah, kind of cool though. And then that's where all the Walking Dead characters split up, because apparently they're all being attacked by zombies. And yeah, that's why we go now to season 5. Because technically I have to say, even though I didn't skip season 4, because I already did kind of a bit explain about season 4 and stuff, season 4 still the same thing like season 3. They're still continuing the conflict against like the governor and stuff, which is still okay though. So let's just go to season 5 right now. Season 5. Now season 5 is where everything becomes more cooler and fun. So there's like this moment where season 5 wakes up, like where everyone actually went to this place called Terminus, which is a new like hideout place, but the place is actually like something else. And there's like they got like a new intro in the TV show, which is kind of exciting for me. I was like hyped for season 5, honestly. Season 5 was like something else, honestly, because you can see how like everything is like new again and stuff. Whenever there's like a new season in The Walking Dead, they always like open like this new intro, new characters appeared, and maybe a good plot can sometimes come out of nowhere. Usually because I would say how the good seasons of Walking Dead, where everything used to be good, it was like kind of okay, honestly. Everyone still watches Walking Dead. There's still a lot of Walking Dead fans during those times. Yeah, technically I do agree with that. But there's one thing I have to say about season 5 is that where at the end, like at the part of season 5 where people say that's where like Walking Dead loses like a lot of viewers and stuff, because apparently they said like there's something happened, which I did kind of like research a bit, honestly, about The Walking Dead season 5 like losing a bunch of viewers. That here said that The Walking Dead began to lose viewers after season 5, and the viewership has declined steadily since then. Season 5 averaged over 14 million viewers per episodes. And technically I was confused with that part, or maybe because that's where Negan and the Saviors appeared, or it's because of the deaths of Glenn and Abraham and stuff. Yeah, season 4 also, and season 5 at the same time showed like these new characters, I guess you can say. There's like Abraham, and I actually do kind of forgot who's the actually other character and stuff. Usually because I don't know how many characters are in The Walking Dead. I only remember like a few and stuff. And also like, not to mention like around season 5, I know there's like this Terminus character that was like also like killed by Rick Grimes, I'm pretty sure. And then, oh yeah, I forgot. That's where like I'm not sure, but like I think around season 3, the old lady girl, I forgot what's her name actually. I actually also forgot her name. So she's actually also close to the Rick Grimes people also at the same time. She was also in the prison arc, but apparently she left because apparently she killed like a bunch of infected people and burned them in the prison and stuff. And then apparently Rick Grimes told her to leave, I'm pretty sure. And then she just went left and stuff. And then after that, she returned back around season 5 in the Terminus like stuff scene. And that's where Rick Grimes sees his newborn son or girl. I actually forgot also. And that scene, that's where like I realized like everything's gonna be new again. And also season 5 isn't season 5 was like really popular, people saying, usually because I see like the part where Rick Grimes said we are the Walking Dead. It's gonna be like the same thing just like other seasons also. And that's where I realized I almost got sleeping on The Walking Dead. I just started realizing how The Walking Dead just went upgrading to downgrading. It's technically like the change between The Walking Dead plot and like the characters and stuff. Like I think everyone was angry the part where the Carl, which is the Rick Grimes' son, Carl, who actually died in the TV show. In the comic, he's actually not dead though. He's actually still alive until like the final part of the comics, which is interesting because apparently they shouldn't just kill off Carl, because apparently Carl was killed because, well, I don't know why they just kill off Carl. They just think like they're trying to make the show more different and stuff, which is interesting because like how other characters like being carried to be like killed and stuff, because apparently around seasons and that part around like season 5, that's where people actually began liking even more with The Walking Dead and stuff. Usually because I'm not sure why, because apparently it says here that season 5 is actually loses season after season 5 actually, because apparently over 14 million viewers per episode and stuff, and then they actually began losing like more viewers around like season 6, 7, and 9 and stuff. Usually because I would say more how like the beginning Walking Dead, everything was like okay and stuff. And honestly, I don't have that much confidence with season 5. Season 5 is actually really okay. It's not that bad. It's actually not okay, but like it's just mid. Mid means something like it's like a 50 out of 50 or something, or maybe like 7 out of 10. It's not really like that high, I wouldn't say. It's actually still very, very normal. I would say more about why season 5 is not as cool as season 4 or season 3, because the hype in season 5 is just going to be like the same hype, just like enough in the 7th season that everyone was actually killed, because apparently not only killed, because apparently Glenn and Abraham was also killed in that season, so that's why they lose viewership. So now I'm talking about like how season 5 was like, yeah, kind of different, you know, it was still okay, but that's where things like boring, I guess. So I don't really have that much to say about season 5. I know that's where like things are new and like everyone is split up, and that's where everyone like reunite together in The Walking Dead. That's sort of the part where they met like this new character. I forgot like the character's name, but like the point here is that this part where they say like we are the Walking Dead at the same time, and that was not the only part that is cool. There was also a part where they actually met this new character to take place to a new hometown, which is interesting because that's where we continue off to season 7. Now I don't really have that much to say about season 5 because usually it's really kind of like a boring season and stuff. So yeah, I guess we're gonna go like move on to season 6. But before I want to go to season 7 or 6, I have to say like season 5 is kind of interesting for The Walking Dead. You know, the part where Rick Grimes gets even more better as like a character. The character just gets even more development in my opinion. Instead of him like being humble, like the part where you said that we can't kill like the innocent people or something, but now they're like saying like kill everyone and stuff, because he's becoming more like cold person. He's becoming more cooler and stuff. I wouldn't say Sigma, but I would just say like, yeah, he's kind of like cooler and stuff, you know what I mean? He's kind of like gets even more colder. He's kind of like becoming a goated character, honestly. He is though. So moving on to season 6. Walking Dead season will be far different from the past seasons of Walking Dead, which I'm sure that everyone should know that, because I know like this new whole season of Walking Dead has been looking so different, honestly. And apparently around like season 5 and 6, that's where they went to this new place called Alexandria. And now remembering that place when I was watching that season, it was like something new, I guess, something exciting, where they meet like new characters and stuff. And what's really strange about this season of Walking Dead is that It's where everything is just so much different with Rick Grimes. Honestly, I know that because Rick Grimes used to be like a friendly cop and turned into like a badass, like goated character. Because usually I know that, and the fandom agrees also, because like The Walking Dead, Rick Grimes, who has changed in multiple seasons, especially how he was friendly, but at the same time he turns into like a complete like cool guy and stuff, where he kills the living and the dead. I think everyone knows that also. Technically, especially how all the characters also has changed into like complete serious killing and like I don't know, like a monster machine killing people or something, I don't know, and stuff. And what's really cool about the season is that like this new Alexandria place is just, I think it was in the comics, but I just don't know that. What's really cool about this, that I kind of like how Rick Grimes' change is like, should be a thing, because like that's what making developing character is at the same time. And what's really cool about Rick is that how Rick has this like cool like genre, like completely like a goated character existing. Honestly, I kind of like Rick to this day. Compared to Daryl or Shane, like I just said in this video multiple times and stuff, there's like a moment where I should say that Rick Grimes is just like the main character in this movie. I mean, he's like the main character in the comics, like also in the show at the same time. He's kind of like the only good character. Sure, I know there's most people who like other characters like Shane or Daryl or I don't know, Michonne, or there's a lot actually. Even like people who love like Daryl and yeah, many more honestly. Besides from those characters, there's actually many characters that people sometimes ignore or hate it, and usually they call themselves as the useless Walking Dead characters. And I do have to say that is a thing. I do kind of hate when there's like new random characters in every single season, especially in 8 and 9. What I do really hate about the new characters in season 8 and 9 is that there's like these like new people after like Rick Grimes was like dead. Well, technically Rick Grimes wasn't dead. He's just like in the river and took it to a different place and stuff. But these new characters around season like 9 and 8 is just like useless and stuff. We don't need those characters existing, because I know like those characters are like very useless. They just exist out of nowhere. They just created out of nowhere actually. I don't know if they were in the comics also, because I never read the comics that much. At the same time, like they're like that this new like part of season, like the final season of Walking Dead and stuff. Like they have like this moment where everything looks so different aside from like the other Walking Deads. And interestingly enough about the Walking Dead season, that I'm pretty sure around season 9, that's where Walking Dead actually burns me out, honestly. Because I know why, because the story isn't something fun anymore in The Walking Dead. They just changed the story right there. They didn't really make the story like fun in the past seasons, neither like in season 3 or 4. Or so I thought to be, because I know some of the characters are still like the same. They're still Daryl and Michonne, but like technically there's like this moment also around like the final season where they like represent and show the final character season, and they like kind of like leave like these characters into like these final moments in these episodes, and those episodes exist. Especially they did this to Rick, Michonne, and many more characters. Especially like even the dead characters that were killed by Negan and stuff were just like the seasons that were around those times when The Walking Dead actually lose viewership. Especially how The Walking Dead was like losing a lot of fans and stuff. And that was where the moment The Walking Dead was like becoming like a boring like apocalyptic TV show. And I do agree with that. And what's concerning about me is that the whole Walking Dead season isn't just only boring, but sometimes like the plot armor isn't the same anymore. They change, they have to look different, and everything there just feels so strange watching it, and how really boring it is to watch it also, because you know, that moment where you're feeling fun in the first season, and then the next season they show it like differently, that's where like you feel like you're burned out with that season. Whether you like it or whether you just like hate it because you don't like new seasons. You just like one limited season, like in, I don't know, Netflix TV series shows or documentaries or something, I don't know. In conclusion, really about The Walking Dead season and stuff, I also forgot to talk about The Walking Dead season 10 and 11. I know those are useless seasons. I really forgot what happened those seasons. All I know is that there's like the new characters and like old characters went to this like new base and stuff, which I forgot it's called. The place is like
the place is all like different right now, and all the coloring and like completely the quality is changing in season 11 and 10. And they even show the origin story and the background story of Negan, which I kind of like that scene. Kind of like new and stuff, but like it's like okay, I get it. Like they're trying to make the character Negan cool. He was cool, but he kind of like ended off to be like a downgraded character right now. Usually, I would say that the Negan actor, he's actually really good, and I should have pressed myself to say that maybe season 10, 11 is just not really something I like the best. Honestly, this is my opinion to say that, like, how I just only like the Walking Dead season, like, 3 and 4 because they're kind of like different and more funner. Season 1 was really simple and goated. Season 2 is everyone's favorite popular season, which I agree with that. And technically, all the characters on knows that, and they're kind of okay, except for Rick Grimes though. I do kind of like Rick Grimes. Rick Grimes is like so much better beside from any other characters. Although I do kind of like Shane and Daryl and Glenn. They're kind of like my favorites and stuff. Yeah, I mean I do like those characters, but they're not really as cool as I thought to be. They're not cool as like Rick Grimes and stuff. Rick Grimes is more like better. He's wearing an iconic hat, his iconic gun. Yeah, those are like really cool stuff for him, honestly. So there's also many things I have to mention about how some Walking Dead seasons, they were like controversial, honestly, because I know I didn't mention them in this video. So technically, there's like this also one controversial thing. So you know in the Walking Dead comics how the son of Rick Grimes, I forgot his name. Oh yeah, Carl Grimes. Carl Grimes, like he survived and lived in the whole comics until the end of Walking Dead, especially until the end of the comics. And in the TV series, he just died in like around season 8 and 9 and stuff. And that was like I didn't know. I didn't know about the comics at that time, so I didn't know until I heard about someone making the video about the comics versus the TV show. That when I went realizing how Carl didn't die in the comics, but Rick did. But apparently in the TV series, apparently Carl just died there. That's where people started hating Walking Dead at the same time. Also, people like realizing that the Walking Dead is only doing this for money, or usually they just like kill him off so they can just make something new. I would rather say that the Walking Dead shouldn't just kill off like Carl or like anyone else. Honestly, the scene with Abraham and like Glenn dying was like something. It was also in the comics. I know that. But usually that scene was also kind of quite controversial. They just like ended in a cliffhanger. Also, that was like controversial. And I don't know how many actually things that most fans hated in The Walking Dead. Usually, I don't know to this day Walking Dead will be still good or not though. I know there's a bunch of spin-offs happening and stuff, but I don't really want to review them because I know those are useless spin-offs at the same time. So, honestly, I'm not gonna review any of those things. And that concluded that what is like really The Walking Dead, honestly. I know The Walking Dead is cool, but like there's many other zombie apocalyptic like TV shows or movies right out there. There's like so much better than The Walking Dead, or maybe I don't really know. So honestly, that's all I can say about The Walking Dead today. So if you guys really enjoyed this video, I hope you guys do enjoy this video because disclaimer. I'm so sorry that I make this video too rushed at the same time because usually I'm kind of a bit like tired of making videos like this, honestly. Even though like I already said in my last video where I uploaded about my channel updates and stuff where I will make videos properly and more better high quality. And I'm doing it right now, but usually this one is like kind of rushed because I have a lot of things to do at the same time. So hopefully next week or next month or even like next year, 2025 by the way, I can make a better video, not like this anymore, honestly. More better quality, not rush, better editing at the same.
And yeah, there it goes, my clip, by the way, guys. And also, if you guys wondering why this video got cut off so fast, well, basically, apparently, I have to rush this video so badly. I didn't really have time to make this video, and yeah, that's a problem. Hopefully, I can make videos not like this anymore, but like, since I don't have time, you know what? I'll still have a chance. Anyway, if you guys really enjoyed this video, please make sure you guys subscribe. If you don't, I don't really care. At the same time, you guys should know that I will promise to make better videos. And see ya!